Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. The big heavyweight fight of this weekend, Arslanbek Makhmudov and Guido Vianello. Both looking for redemption, both looking for a way back to the big show, or in the case of Vianello, getting there for the first time. He's kind of been a bit up and down with performances, but even in a loss against Derevyanchenko last time out, showed a lot of heart, determination and courage, and it was a very close and competitive fight. I think for many of us who've kind of been a bit down on Vianello, that performance was a bit of a revelation, a bit of an eye-opener, because he was standing there going after and trading with a very big puncher in Derevyanchenko. So Vianello showed a lot in that fight, and I think he needed to, because there had been performances in the past where he just looked so pedestrian. But he showed something. I'm happy to see him again, and against Arslanbek Makhmudov, he could have all that he can handle. As we know, Arslanbek Makhmudov was cutting a path in the heavyweight division, his come forward rock'em sock'em style, looking to basically bully his opponents and right hook, right uppercut his way to victories. And he came crashing down against Agit Kabayel on one of the Saudi shows. And we always knew that Makhmudov had a certain ceiling, but he obviously against Kabayel didn't expect that Kabayel was the one to find him out. So we saw the class and quality of Kabayel, and Makhmudov, who was beaten up badly to the body in particular, also hurt his hand in that one. He has basically been licking his wounds and looking for an opportunity to come back in the heavyweight division and make a bit of a statement, show that he's still a guy not to be trifled with. This fight is on the undercard of the theMbilli Derevyanchenko card. This one here will be 10 p.m. Eastern time. This is a very good and competitive fight, I think, and I could see this going either way. I mean, we've seen enough from Vianello now, especially against the Jugba, that he's not going to back down against the big puncher. And I think one of the things that a Jugba fight showed was he's got one heck of a beard. He can take a shot, and he will need to against Makhmudov, who probably will be coming in and finding the target. Makhmudov will be trying to be physically menacing, and this is part of his MO. He likes to track forward. He's, on top bully, likes to really sort of strike fear into his opponents, get them on the back foot, and really just let his hands go and try to make something happen from there. But Vianello, he's able to box and move and put shots together, and I think he'll need to be a little bit more nimble in this one than perhaps some other performances we've seen him in. But he actually does have decent footwork. He can move, but I think the key is he can't come in too heavy. I think he probably needs to take the more Kabayel style and approach. Box, move, punch with Makhmudov, but try to work that body over. I think if he just tries to stand and trade with Makhmudov, and he's flat-footed and he's a static target, that could scream disaster, or end in disaster, I should say. Makhmudov hits hard, and he hits often. He's just a bit more active than a Jugba in terms of letting those big power punches go. He will keep throwing. So we know that Makhmudov, all heart, all determination, and all rage, trying to take his opponent's head off. So Vianello's going to have to be careful with that one. But if he comes in with a smart game plan, he can cause what would be considered a bit of a minor upset here. But given what we saw against the Jugba, I don't think that Vianello's as much of an underdog as he might have been considered if he hadn't have had that fight and that sort of performance. He wasn't that far away from winning that Jugba fight, and the fact that he stood up to basically a lot of clean punches from a Jugba, and he was able to take them and continue and get his own work away, land his own big shots, that does bode well for him here against a guy that is technically flawed, that we saw in the amateurs been getting outboxed in the World Series of Boxing. You had guys like Mihai Nestor having it all over him, dominating him, but then getting stopped late on in that in their 5-rounder. So Vianello with a smart game plan, and if he's got no fear, and I think now that Makhmudov's been beaten, and he was beaten up so badly, I don't think there is some of that scare factor that some of his other opponents clearly felt, and that hit them on the back foot, backpedaling, fighting the sort of fight that Makhmudov wanted. So Makhmudov himself, he's got to go in there. I mean, people will say he needs to improve, he needs to do this, that, and the other. The guy's in his mid-30s now. He is what he is. What we've seen from the start of his career is basically, in the pros and even the amateurs, he's a big lump that hits hard. He'll come forward, let his hands go, and he's going to go for broke and really come after you. This is what we're going to get in this fight as well. Maybe there'll be periods where he'll be a little bit more circumspect, especially early on, maybe try to just have a look first with the jab, but I expect at a certain point he'll hit the go button, and that's where we're going to see this fight really erupt, probably into a potential shootout. I'm hoping that Vianello comes with a game plan, because if he just tries to go to war with Makhmudov, he could come off second best. But I'm looking forward to it. I've given Makhmudov, I'm making him the favourite in this one to get the win, but perhaps the nicknames is the giveaway. Maybe it's slightly prophetic. You have Vianello as the gladiator and Makhmudov as the lion. Are we going to see a lion tamer in action here? Drop a comment loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.